Which it's really dope because
Are you like completely celibate or you like work around it?
work around what?
For those just listening to the pod, I'm doing gestures around the mic.
No, she was doing gestures. She's on hers.
I was. I'm sorry. My good Christian
no,
people.
I'm really into like intense.
Really?
Very much.
Like doing my type shit?
Oh my god.
I've been in
Waterworks. I'm talking about shampoo.
I gotta be like really shamood for me to be into that. Cause I've done it a couple times. I ain't gonna front. Pero ahora como que mira ese bajo a boca. Mire coño. Ve cepíllate coño.
Stop in the name of lust. Joy for you penetrate.
Yeah, my shit, that
You're not
like
penetrating. Oh my god, why did I say that? We're not penetrating.
Not penetrating, not gyrating, not
No one's
vibrating.
penetrating anything. Clara, what am I doing here? You know? So when I was on that acid trip, I'm telling you, it was as clear. There's no way I could say this other than Jesus Christ was in front of me and said, "What is this I hear about you not wanting to be here?" I mean, I know the pandemic changed a lot of crap for all of us. But
I think it was, age in a way, but also when I was telling you before I went to the restroom that I wasn't sleeping. My worst, insomnia was during the pandemic, and I think it was like in those early days of the lockdown where we thought it was like 2 weeks to flatten the curve and blah, blah, blah. I was so used to being all over the place. Like at the time I was working at Vice, so sometimes I would wake up super early, go to the gym, or super early, go to work with my gym bag, with my laptop, with all the shit I need for Vice. I used to do PA, AP, talent, everything for fucking Vice.
Really?
Work 10 hours
How
there.
did you land that job?
They went in my DMs. I was already doing videos on Instagram.
Oh my god.
And they were like, hey, you want to come in for like a chat? And it was a screen test. And that was the first time I had ever been like for like a screen test. I was like, all right, whatever, let's do it. And they were like, we're going to throw some topics at you. Just talk about it. And like, I talked to the camera, looked cute. And I just went for it and they called me back. But I got hired as talent. And then the person who hired me quit a week later. And then they didn't know what to do with me. And they put me as a PA. Wow. So like I left
producer's assistant.
Which is like,
bitch
for
work.
lack of a better word, it is bitch work. Yeah. It's like the lowest on the totem pole. So I left like a 6-figure job. I was in the hospitality industry making money.
You were working before the hospitality industry. What were you doing?
I was just front desk agent. But in New York, a front desk agent.
Oh, wow.
But in New York, it's union. So, and I was working there for 6 years. So I had already accumulated with like the sales and the overtime. I was making almost $100,000 a year.
Ya estamos grabando. Okay.
Compared to what I was making, it was a big pay cut. But yeah.
Wow.
Ahí estamos. From there, the rest is history.
Ay, Clara, ven, ayúdame con esto. So, here we go. Clara, everybody. So, how did you... Was Vice your first gig that was in TV film? Or TV?
Major, yeah. I would say so. Like I had done like little things here and there, like extra work. I had done like a used car sales commercial.
Yes. Oh, that's the used car salesman bag.
Yeah, I did it in English and Spanish.
Oh my God, a talent you are.
So you already know it was on Univision and everything.
Oh, I love. Your tías and tíos must have been like, Mira la
Darlene. So I did that, and then just like a couple of little things here and there. But Vice was like the real first thing.
And what? Because you were on a show on Vice, right?
I had my own. I had several franchises.
Really?
I had D
Name
on
them.
The Street. I had D on the Street, and then for Snapchat, I had a thing called Spilling the Tea with D. It was short-lived because I didn't really like it. It was like gossipy, and I wasn't into that at the moment. And then there was this other thing with like your worst. I don't even remember the name, but like I was big on Snapchat for Vice. So it was like all my D on the Streets, which were like Vox Pop, Man on the Street segments, and then there was one where it was like, damn, what was the name of it? I would ask the audience, give me your 5 most embarrassing stories and rate them on a scale of 1 to 5 dead emojis or skull emojis, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Gen Z was like all about it. They'll send their stories, they'll edit it, make it cute. So that was good. But I was freelance for them. I would do a whole bunch of different things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there at any point, did you feel like, wow, Lord, like you felt like the opportunity fell on your lap, right?
Absolutely.
Did you pray to God?
Absolutely. So like I am so into like manifesting and praying. Like I don't go to church anymore. I've never been to church. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so it's called Kingdom Hall. I haven't gone since I was like 13, like regularly. So it's been a while, but I do feel like I have a very close connection to God. I pray every day, multiple times a day. And I also just am about that universe energy as well. If you want to call it universe, you want to call it Jehovah. Like I do,
Really?
yeah, like I'm all about
Why
it.
did you leave Jehovah's Witness?
I think it was just like teenage angst. And, you know, I was getting older and
Are your parents still in the Kingdom Hall?
my mother is, but
Is there a large Dominican population of Jehovah's Witness?
I would say so in New York. Not necessarily like in the island, but I would think so. Like in the States, there's a few.
And what is, like, I know, wow, that sounds so ignorant, but I guess I don't know, and I know some people listening aren't going to know. What exactly is Jehovah's Witness? Do they take Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior?
Yeah, so
Do they believe in the Trinity?
they do not believe in the Trinity. That's the only thing. It's like God is Jehovah, like the Almighty is God, Jehovah, and then Jesus is the Son of God, but he's like equally as revered. And then I don't know, from what I remember, the Holy Spirit was just another person, but spiriting around. I don't know,
Like another essence?
like another essence. Yeah, it's not. They don't really call it the Trinity. They don't
Do they-
rock crosses.
Is the Holy Bible their written truth?
Yeah, the King James Bible, I think, or Santa Escritura, some shit like that. It might not be the King James Bible, but it is the Bible.
Really?
Like Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus.
Don't
Is
mind us.
Mandy?
We got horrible decisions next door, guys. Wait, oh my God. Look what I brought for you.
What you brought me?
I mean, not for, I mean, unless you want to keep it, whatever.
Okay.
I brought us a Dominicano soy.
De mi país, no me voy a olvidarme.
I brought this for us, mommy.
Yay, thank
Because
you.
I know that we're Dominican. We're two Dominican performers in the space. I see.
I
And
love
you
it.
know what? I really don't see many Dominican Americans out there like openly talking about what we do. Oh, you know what I tweeted about the other day?
Dime.
There's a curse, and I call it the Latino TV show 2-season curse.
Yep.
Because they never have more than 2 seasons. Meanwhile, all these other minority groups have, I mean, not all, there really is just, white shows and black shows are king right now in
Yeah.
terms of they make it to 5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah.
What a success. Mazel tov, holy crap. Because honestly, the more black shows we see making it, that for us is like an in
Absolutely.
too. They win, we all win.
Yeah.
But we just heard that Gentefied was canceled, which you were on.
Absolutely, yup. I'm so heartbroken about that.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah, so it's crazy because I remember when the first season came out, I was like, let me give this a shot because like a lot of Dominican Americans are just like Latinos that were born in America. It's pretty hard to find a Latin American show that resonates and doesn't feel fake and doesn't feel like people are putting words, what do you call it? Like the little hat? Whatever.
Un cap. I just say
No,
un
cachucha.
cap.
So my stepfather used to call it like la cachucha. I'm like, what
Una-
the fuck is
una
that?
gorra.
Una gorra, yeah. Pero, ¿qué es lo que yo estaba diciendo?
Gentefied.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch the show, and I was like, let me give it a shot. And then I saw that Julissa Calderon's character was in it, and she was Dominican, and they had an episode about, like, I remember when I was on 181st, for eating from the chimney truck, and I was like, yeah, what is this? Like, I got super excited about it. And then when they emailed me, you know, with the audition for it, I was like, for season 2, I was like, hell fucking yeah. So
What do you mean they auditioned for you? You mean your agent? Your agent got the appointment, no?
my manager sent me the audition.
Oh, your
yeah,
manager.
so I did have to audition 3 times. It was like first audition, second, and then like the third one
Your
was a
callbacks.
callback. Yeah,
Was it a co-star or guest?
it was a guest.
Yes.
it was a guest.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Every single guest I always went in for, I would go to producers or I'll go to directors and I'd never get it.
Why? I don't see you not getting it. Like I don't.
Oh, well, I've also lost 2. I've gone in for 2 series regular. I've had test deals. So I
Yeah.
have gotten very, very close to big things and
Yeah.
I just never got it.
It's because it wasn't for you.
I take it
It'll
as, you know, for me, I take it as, I don't want to flip it back at you because I have so many questions for you, but I take it as just like a confirmation or a sign from God. Like, I don't think I was prepared the first half of my acting career.
Got it.
I don't think I had it. I mentioned it before. I was a terrible auditioner.
It's a job on its own. Like it's separate from.
It's a
acting.
skill.
Yeah.
You may have graduated from Juilliard drama or whatever, and if you're not a good a prepared auditioner, a prepared present auditioner, able to roll with the punches, not let your nerves overtake you or change or alter the behavior of the character, you're not getting the role.
Yo.
You know?
Yep.
But thankfully, I had casting directors who like had seen me. I'd been auditioning since I was 18.
Damn.
So there were casting directors that were always like, all right, let's call her in.
Really?
Call her in. Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm here.
I've seen every casting director in New York City. Every single one of them.
Stop.
I was a part of a network showcase, ABC.
I don't understand then. I mean, whatever, 2022.
I mean, I was literally the only one in that class who didn't do anything now. Everyone else in my class is working as a series regular right now.
Yeah,
on
but
a
you're
show.
doing it. You're doing your own thing. You're carving your own path.
Yeah. Well, listen, back to Gentefied.
Yes.
My idea, and I love talking. I feel like every time I get to collaborate with other Latinos, I'm like, let's have a business meeting right now because we need to do what other people are doing. The other people are already doing it. Let's see what they're doing.
Exactly.
I think when you build a platform of your own, when you build it yourself, when you are a part of building a community that will ride for you, if you're loyal to them, they're loyal to you. You are impenetrable.
Yep.
Ain't no network can tell me nothing.
Look at Issa Rae.
I mean, Issa Rae is such an inspiration of mine. Like her, Ava DuVernay. There's so many different people that are doing it right. And which brings me back to The Curse of the Two Seasons. Because the last show to see like mad seasons that was Latino led, the only thing I'm thinking about is George Lopez.
That's the only thing I can say.
The George Lopez show. We're long overdue.
Yeah.
It's not fair, but it, like I said, with my failed acting career, I'm not gonna like, you could spend so much time being like, oh, woe is me with my violin. It's not fair. It's not fair. Whatever.
Figure it out some other way.
If you build it, they will come. Like I'm convinced that if you come with a community ready, strapped to show in, to show out, if we collaborate with networks, but if we come with our own built-in audience, we could really do some damage, especially on the internet.
Yeah.
Because what Issa really had the internet in its clutches. So does Euphoria. The reason why it's blowing up is because of their grasp on the social media.
Absolutely.
You know, half these shows on network, like network procedurals and crap, they're not getting views that these social media supported shows are getting. Especially, dude, I was running on the treadmill. Hi, Tangi. I was running on the treadmill and I was watching. I used to audition for like pilots. I've auditioned for about 8 different pilot seasons.
Damn.
I have auditioned for every single procedural, you name it. The ones that were canceled, the ones that are still on, SVU, you name it. And I was running, and you know how they have the TVs, and it was there. They don't play any sound, so all you're looking at is I'm looking at freaking Chicago PD, one of the SVU led shows. What's his name? Dick Wolf shows.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Sophia Bush. I'm pretty sure she was wearing like clip-in extensions. She had a volume, strip eyelashes, eyeliner, a contour, lipstick, running to a fire. I was like, wait, hold on. I'm confused. Like the whole time, it just seemed comical to me. I used to,
especially without the audio, you're just looking at it. It's like, where is she going to a club?
That's
fire?
Yes, I used to bend over backwards to get on a show like that. And in my head, I'm like, I don't even want to be on that show. Like cable is where it's at.
Absolutely. Nobody really watches TV like that anymore.
No one watches cable TV like that. I don't watch cable TV like that. I mean, network TV like that. Everyone watches Hulu, Netflix, HBO.
Streaming services.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
So I think what we need to do, we need to get together, compile all of the poppin' internet Latinos that we see. Like, I'm talking about Latinos, and we're going to be specific about that.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing that Black Americans know what to do is they're very specific, and they're very, they pour into their own, you know?
Yeah.
I think we got to do that.
I think it's always hard to do that. I want to do that, and I think it is possible, but I also think we have to make note of the differences within the Latino community. And I don't know why it's so hard for us to get on the same page when there's so many differences in the Black community as well. Like there's Black people
Black Americans, Black
Americans, but also just like in the Black community worldwide. You know, there's Black people in England, there's Black people everywhere.
There's Black Latinos.
Exactly, and there's Black Latinos. But one thing that is the common denominator is they're Black. they are loyal in their blackness. You know what I mean? And I feel like with us Latinos, we get confused because there be black Dominicans or white Dominicans, but then the white Dominicans claim more than the blacks or vice versa. And it's like,
And there's a lot of
it's a
internal-
very weird gray area with our people where we're very confused.
Internal racism runs rampant. But of course, Latinos are one of, if not the most racially diverse groups.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that's
why it's not easy to put us all into a monolith like that.
Well, we shouldn't put us in a
But
monolith.
they try with the shows.
Well, we can't do it. Latinos can't. And I understand why Black African Americans, I know that some Black Americans don't like saying that, but I just say Black Americans. I know that some Black African Americans have their gripes with Latinos. And honestly, Black people run social media. So if you don't have their cosign or their favor, sorry, In the Heights, sorry, West Side Story, it's not going to pop for you. I'm sorry. And I think that the only way that you can get their cosign or get them to rock with you is first taking accountability, understanding that like the missteps that we've taken in terms of communicating. Like Gina Rodriguez has really messed some stuff up for us. Yo, I'm like, come on, Gina, we were all rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. You know, which sucks because she's so talented, right?
Yeah.
But like half the things we don't even know how to publicly speak on it because we're so scared.
Yeah, look at me. I'm like, I'm tripping over my words and shit.
I'm not scared of nobody but Jesus,
But
but the
Jesus.
Lord. You know what I'm saying? But it's also very humbling. And that understanding also allows me to be like, wait, maybe we should listen to them. And it's true. A lot of these white passing Latinos, and I'm going to say white passing because some of them are even whiter than me.
Yeah.
And I have some African phenotypes in that I have my curl pattern. You know what I mean? Of
You
course, I'm
light skin, you yellow bone.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is we can't even, how do I even say? It's tough because there are some Latinos that irresponsibly discuss their role in, whether subconscious or not, their role in internalized racism.
Yeah.
They may not even acknowledge it. They sometimes don't even account for their own privilege. Like there are some Latinos, hey man, there are some Latinos that look like Clara, who's not Latina, she's European, but we're all Hispanic. But there's some that look like her and want to claim the struggles of Black Latinos. And it's like, hold on, honey, because you can work in spaces and walk in spaces and be in spaces and where Black Latinos cannot, because when you see a Black Latino person out and about doing whatever they're doing, they don't know that, oh, that person is Cubano or Dominicano. They just see a Black person.
Yeah.
You know, so they get all they're viewed as they are.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say in defense of Latinos who are trying to like diffuse or neutralize the
Well,
grounds.
regardless of the skin color, there is a culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think that we shouldn't be neutering the cultural aspect,
Yeah.
right? Like there are white Dominicans, there are white Puerto Ricans, there are white Mexicans. Culturally, they are still in the mix.
Yeah.
And if we do end up I want to build a Latino-driven network one day.
Yeah.
God is my witness.
will happen.
I want to do that one day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to exclude the white Latinos. What good would that do? But what we should do is have an open forum discussion where we know how to talk.
Yeah, and what's realistic for this episode? Like, who are the characters? What do they do? Where are they from? Be realistic with it. I feel like that's been missing. You know, I didn't grow up watching like too many novelas or whatever, but I've never seen a Black person on a novela on Univision or whatever. It was very,
and
very rare.
And you've been to DR, right?
I've been to DR.
Let me tell you something. DR is a black ass island.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, if you go there, the majority of people are black.
Yeah, my whole family is Black. The only reason why I'm a little late is because my dad is actually Albanian, but I don't know my dad.
Your dad is Albanian?
Yeah.
Wait, you're half white?
I am half white. But so this is the thing. Like, I am half white. I don't know my father. I don't know my father since never, ever. So I don't know anything about the culture. I wish I knew more because I think Albanians are like some hardcore, like fucking whites.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're like fucking crazy. But unfortunately, I don't know anything about the culture. So I don't really rep it like that. But like if people get to know me, then I'm like, yeah, like, because it's when you see my family and you see me, they'll be like, what happened? Like, there's something different going on here. So I have to be like, well, yeah, I got a different dad than my brother and sister.
No, yo soy dominicana, pero de pura cepa.
De pura cepa,
you
mami.
are too, pero de
Yeah.
padre y madre. Are you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship.
Oh, did you see that? I already knew that. I can't believe this is the first time we're meeting.
I know, right? I feel like we always talk on Instagram and shit. My friend in my head.
I know. But you have a boyfriend.
I do.
I got to be honest with you. I'm open and transparent.
Okay.
I'm a little jealous.
Why are you jealous?
I know it sucks. Thou shalt not
Why,
covet.
you want to date me? No, you want to die?
You know what? This is my coming out story. I just completely rebranded.
Why are you jealous? Oh,
Okay, no,
So hard.
I'll be honest. I won't say I'm jealous. I'm very, very happy for you. But before the cameras turned on, you told me you'd been in a relationship with him for so long. You said this is going to be the guy that you
marry.
marry. I want to get there so badly.
It's fun.
I want to get there so. We got my last cousin, one of my cousins in my same age group. One of the last ones.
Don't tell me que lo
She's getting
primos se
married.
primen.
She's getting married.
Oh.
What are you doing? Girl, what? She's getting married. She sent out the save the date last week. And let me tell you something.
You were like, no.
My mom sent that text. Of course, I already got the save the date, Mom. But she, loves to re-forward things to me in that way. And she goes, bueno, Brianda, ¿y
En
tú?
WhatsApp.
¿Cuándo es tu turno, Brianda? Brianda, ¿y el novio?
Oh, my God.
Todo es podcast, ¿y el novio, Brianda?
Yo quiero que tú me des un nieto, Brianda.
She don't even care about that. My mom
No?
really. Oh no, my mom doesn't. You know, my mom. Yeah, if I had a dog for every time my mom says she didn't want children, she wished she never had it. I would have $3. I remember.
Okay, you would have $3.
I remember
You
each
got
one
siblings?
of those. I have 2. Yeah, my sister, and then I have 4 half.
Okay, from your father's side.
My dad was a whore.
There you go. It happens.
But is your boyfriend Dominican?
My boyfriend is Puerto Rican, born and raised in the Bronx.
That must be nice.
I got a Boricua in it. Yeah, my boyfriend's been my friend since I was like 15. We started dating when I was like 21. I'm 30 now. We've had 2 breaks, but we always get back together.
You always knew.
Yeah, he's like great. He's great. I'm a Libra. He's an Aquarius. We're like each other's number 1 love match.
I've already told you about this. I don't know that stuff. I
And
don't
now
believe
he's
in
like,
that stuff.
it's really, I like the relationship that I'm in because I'm so like out there and I'm doing a million things and he lets me do me. And that's the type of person that I need. I don't want some like un hombre celoso, ¿a dónde tú estás? Oh, tú me cocinas. Y yo cocino, mírame esta mano. Esta es la mano de una mujer que cocina, okay? Like I'm all burnt everywhere. But I don't cook because he expects it. I cook it because I like to cook. And if I'm not like busy doing something, I'll make a nice meal for us and shit. So like he's, he lets me be me. And I listen to Bethany Frankel's podcast and she always talks about it. I'm the peacock and he's the one in the back like just chilling. Even though es un maldito loco.
Oh yeah.
Like with his friends and family, like he's the peacock. But with people that he doesn't know, he's also an Aquarius. He's very like, he doesn't even speak. And he's kind of like intense too. Like he looks angry a lot. It's okay. I'm the smiley one.
Wait, so what is the most like how you guys have been dating for so long? Are you gonna get when's he gonna?
We just moved in together. After so long, we moved in.
But do you guys talk about marriage, the next step, children?
I would say within a year, he's probably gonna pop the question because he's found God too.
Recently?
Recently, he's found God.
Oh, what was his story?
I don't know. He just got into it. Like he went to school, all Catholic, all boys school, like his whole school career, except college. And for whatever reason, like the past couple of years, he's just been reading the Bible more, looking at YouTube videos, and he's about it.
Really?
Yeah. He's actually way more into God and Jesus than I am
you?
right now. Well, I can't even say that because I love God and God loves
Okay.
me. But he's like, when
And
I mean like religious, like he's about the book right now.
Oh yeah?
So he's trying to like, I'm like, get that ring.
Would you ever ask him about like devotionals together, joint devotionals, or is that not of interest to you?
What do you mean?
So normally when you start out in a relationship with someone and they were not practicing,
Yeah.
but then they begin practicing during the relationship, it's impossible for the other person not to
Jump
notice
on.
it,
Yeah.
but also maybe be influenced by it. Because I like to describe it like this. I used to date a guy he used to be a model. He was really into fitness and super clean eating. I was with him for long enough. We also lived together for a little bit where
picked up those
I
habits.
adopted it and I learned how to lift. I learned how to lift properly. I learned a lot about my body. So I say that to say that you become influenced by especially someone that you're intimate with.
Yeah.
Do you ever like
I don't know, because I don't know if our thing is like to actually go to a church. I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know to that one. I don't have an answer to that one.
Would you want to raise your children as believers of Christ?
Definitely. I want my kids to know about Christ, because I feel like I grew up that way, and I think there's some good about me, and I think there's some good about him. So, my boyfriend, when I say him, so like, yeah, our kids are gonna know Jesus.
What is it? What's it all about? What's it? What motivates you? Like, what motivates you to? Because and don't mind if I clock it. And again, this is not a criticism. It's just because I need to say things out loud.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
say
know.
it. Do what you gotta.
So I hear you say things like very secular things, worldly things is what the Bible calls it. You know, you mentioned Aquarius, whatever, signs multiple times. You mentioned the universe. You mentioned these things. But you tack Jesus as your Lord and Savior at the end of it, which I'm really, really happy about. Oh my gosh. And I would love to be a resource to you. And like, if you ever need me to pray on you or pray with you, I'm here for you.
Yes. Oh my God, thank you.
My question is, what motivates you to tack that on? Like
To tack on Jesus?
Yeah, in tandem with those other things. The closer I got to Jesus, the further away I got from those other things.
Well, you know, what the whole astrology thing is just like fun, and I think right now is on brand. Like everybody's talking about it. It's funny. It's just like something to do.
Okay.
And I think we're in a time that we're so lost. Like, are we in the pandemic? Are we not? That people are trying to look for answers in certain things, and for those that aren't looking for answers with God or Jesus or any religion that they, want to go into, they're doing secular things, like you said, astrology or tarot cards, just trying to find the answers. Because I think us as humans, we're curious people, and we're always going to try to find the answer in an uncertain time. Now, the reason, I don't know, it's ingrained in me to have love for Jesus. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know he was a real man, regardless of anything. I know that he was here.
Hallelujah.
And regardless of anything, he was a G. He was a real G,
rock star.
because he believed in what he said, and he died for what he said and what he believed. He died.
He died for all of our sins
For
so that
us.
we could all be here, like living life the way we do.
He carried his own cross, the thing that ultimately killed him. You know what I mean? So like, whether the miracles were or were not real, that was a man who was an honorable man that lived in this world. And what year is it? It's 2022. In the
And
year
we're still, and by the way,
of
we
Lord Jesus Christ.
we still talking about him. Okay, my Lord.
I love me some Jesus. I love Jesus.
I sure do. Well, what would you say is your, I hate questions like these, but only because I'm curious, because you're so open.
Yeah, tell me.
And it kind of reminds me of like me a little bit.
Yeah, me too, I know.
Yeah.
Tú eres loquita así como yo.
Yeah, I was a little bit kooky, but what is it? What's your, and I guess it goes back to where I was trying to say, like, what is it that,
Or like how I bring it together.
what is it about faith that motivates you? And why do you choose every day to believe this? Why is it important to you to have a relationship with God?
Because I feel empty without it. I've been the angsty teen. I've been the person who didn't believe in God because I was too into science and I read all the books. And, it always turns into kind of like a circle. Because it's like, I don't believe in that because how can you prove that there's a man in the sky and blah, blah, blah. And then there's science. And then even though I don't know the scientist, I'm taking his word for it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that science is. Even though I'm not saying the science isn't real. But you feel me? Like, if we have faith on a man who's talking about something science-wise, why can't I have faith on a collection of men who wrote a book about God and Jesus and his prophets?
Hey, man, it's easy for me to believe in miracles.
Yeah. So, and I've seen, like, there's just certain things that you can explain. Like, there is something, I believe, that sets us apart from just another animal, like a dog or a cat or whatever. Like, we have a soul, we have a spirit, we know between wrong and right.
Morality.
And I don't know, like when I was going through that whole phase where I was like, oh, I don't believe in God. I remember I was going to the library a lot. I was reading. I picked up a Buddhist book. Then I started thinking maybe I want to be a Buddhist, and I started meditating. And when I started meditating, I felt closer to God. And it wasn't even saying Jehová or saying Jesucristo. But then I'm like, why am I so open to taking, another culture's religion or something when I've already had it ingrained in me all this while, all this time? So I don't know, like I just know that he was real. I know what I feel when I pray. I know when I'm putting good out, I get good back. And I don't think that it's such a coincidence that you and I are sitting here on this floating rock. You know what I mean? In the middle of the universe where there's no other life anywhere, even though they're searching for it. We're the only ones.
You know what you should, this is my favorite. You know, I love talking about this stuff.
Tell me.
There's this Swedish psychiatrist, writer, teacher extraordinaire. He was phenomenal. He died in the 20th century. His name is Carl Jung.
Yeah.
You know Carl Jung.
Yeah.
He has this.
I did a little BMCC.
There you go. Oh, yes,
A little bit of college. A little community college.
I didn't finish. Carl Jung, he has this theory of collective consciousness. And again, I'm so into psychologists that tap into theological concepts, because it always comes back to the text, the Bible, which is our written truth inspired by the Lord. They're messages that were inspired by the Lord for us to consume, and they're still around today. But the collective consciousness, in that we all serve a higher it sucks because everything I say sounds juju-y, but it really is what it is.
Yeah.
A higher power. In that we're all, what I do for you, affects me, this butterfly effect sort of nature. I wish I knew more to expand on it. I wish I had Carl Jung as a guest, but he's dead.
He did.
Jesus, could you get us Carl on the podcast? Thank you. Anyways, but when you mentioned that was your awareness being strengthened, man.
Yeah.
That's what meditation can do for you. That's what I started meditating before I started
Praying.
Yeah.
Well, I started praying, but as an adult, like the meditating came after the whole like atheist period of my life. And that period, not to knock it, I'm sure that there are many, many happy atheists, I'm sure. But
atheists believe in something.
They do believe.
I think atheism as a concept is a bit confusing. It's just as confusing as Jesus.
Well, I guess some people have like a spirituality aspect to it, or some of them think that as soon as we die, and then that's it. I don't think that's it. It's proven scientifically that we are like made out of energy, and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So we're gonna be somewhere. Something's gonna happen. Like, I don't know. I've lived long enough to be like, how did that happen? Like, this was not just a coincidence. This was luck. This was faith. This was God.
I also think that there are some neutral atheists that I have so many friends. I mean, my best friend is an atheist too. I think and by the way, she practices many Christian principles.
Yeah.
I've said it before. This girl is more Christian. She exhibits more Christian qualities than some Christian people.
Yeah.
And it really is God is
see that a lot.
God is a principled God. Oh, hi Tangi again, my mom. She sent me a text yesterday that was like, Brianda, God is a principled God. I don't think you should be wearing earrings. I don't think you should be wearing all this other stuff. Oh, yeah, but she's Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
It's a very conservative sect of...
It's very similar to the Jehovah's Witness thing.
Oh, yeah? You're not allowed to wear joyas and stuff?
You can, but just not too flashy and stuff. You can't be too flashy. You don't celebrate holidays. You don't get drunk.
I mentioned that because according to my mom perhaps looks at me the way I look at some of my atheist friends. Because I actually don't... and not to impose, and I would never project, right? That's not my job as a God-fearing woman. I don't ever want to judge. I don't ever want to come off judgy.
You can't.
And I don't ever want, because I know as an atheist, that crap pissed me off and actually maybe did the opposite of bringing me closer to Jesus.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, my mom probably looks at me the way maybe I look at other atheists in that, spiritual immaturity, like she wouldn't say it, but when she said, God is a God of principles, Brianda, modesty is written in the Bible for a reason. It's meant to strengthen our relationship with the Lord and all this other stuff. And you know how I handle it? I take a note from when I was an atheist, and I say, hey mom, the Lord, I appreciate you, and I know that this is coming from a place of love. God is love. Anything through love done by God is love. I know it's coming from a place of love. But that truth hasn't been inspired in me yet. And another great part about being a practicing God-fearing woman is feeling really comfortable and not insecure in my own ignorance and not knowing. So just because I say that today, that may change in a week or two.
Yeah.
Last week we were talking about hypocrisy. I find hypocrisy in everybody. and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that Christianity allows me to be more confident in, like, not hypocrisy per se, but in sitting in my I don't know-ness. Quote unquote, I don't know.
Same. Like I say I don't know all the time now.
It's
Before
the
I
best.
always felt like I had to give an answer, and now I'm like, I don't know.
You don't. Give it up to God. I
Yeah.
don't know. So my mom said that, and I went, Mom, I don't know. That hasn't been inspired in me. When I read the text, which I do, I have to diligently do for this show, those messages haven't been inspired in me. I do feel some kind of taking to modesty, though. Because generally I
Which
do.
way?
I do feel pangs of something when I dress a certain way and men look at me in a way, in a like they hunger for me perhaps. And what it used to be, it used to,
for you, Brianna.
it used to empower me before, but now it doesn't empower me. Now I want my brain to I want you to be hunger for my brain.
Got it.
For other things. If I see you hunger for my legs or hunger for my body, women can tell when a man is
Thirsting, yeah.
yeah, that's something, and I can see why that's in the text to be modest. Not because, but my mom sees it as wear long skirts, don't wear joyas, and don't show your boobs and stuff. I don't see it so much as that. I see it as like a warning.
Yeah. Almost like a shield. Like the garb is a shield in a way. It's protecting you.
Yes, like almost like an armor, because the Lord knows this more than we know ourselves. He knows el ser humano. He knows our proclivities to sin. He knows what we're capable of. I think the greatest message that the Bible has illuminated in me is the fact that we're all so flawed and we have these proclivities to fall. And there's stories of it. I mean, every single day. My poor Clara must be so bored because the stories of kings falling over and over again. It really is.
It's the hero's journey, which we all go through.
Yes.
Unless we stay lost.
Well,
Which a lot of people do.
Another thing that we know is that not everyone makes it to the promised land. And I think that an act of believing in God, I can't say that I saw a man on TikTok, maybe, I don't remember what his name was, maybe I'll link him, but he said that believing in God is not only, it's countercultural, but it's supposed to be countercultural. We're not supposed to be like the masses.
No.
Not everyone makes it into the promised land.
Yeah.
And so when my mom says don't wear earrings, be modest, all these other things, it's to set us apart from what the masses are doing. We're not supposed to blend in. We're not supposed to, again.
So what some people might see as oppressive, other people see it as, well, this is what I'm doing because I believe in it and this is my religion.
Yeah, por ejemplo.
There's power behind it.
Yes, like it's like when you see a Muslim woman wearing a hijab and all these things, it's like, well, no, they're proud in their faith. They're proud, well, faith in their terms, right? They don't believe in the Christian God, but it's meant to separate us so that there is a distinguishable difference between us animals. We're not supposed to bend to it. That's why I also I'm one of those Christians that I tend to lean a little bit hypocritical because it doesn't always make sense. Again, I don't know. I'm in year 3.5 of my faith.
Yeah.
I think we are supposed to stand apart.
I believe so. Like, even when I first started doing my comedy and getting into like Instagram and doing the skits.
Yes, you're a comedian, Dee.
Yeah. So I came out with, my name is Darlene, but I came up with the name D Nasty. And at the time, like, I was younger and just wild. And a lot of my jokes were kind of X-rated or just like kind of gauche in a way. Like they were kind of hard, like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like a little rustica, you feel me?
Okay.
So that's where the nasty came from. And I feel like as I've gotten older, it's not necessarily so much. I still try to keep it as real as possible on my page. But
it's not quite as
it's
vulgar.
It's not as vulgar and it's not as like crazy as it was when I first started. But I have an attachment to the name that I'm like, yeah, like whatever, I like it.
Listen, there are sex podcasters that as they evolve, their year one of podcasting is always more explicit.
Yeah,
than their,
you learn how to tone it down. Like
my first podcast, I was my first year of transitioning into Christianity. I still had the world all over me. It really is. The more
not the world all over
it
me,
was
get
all
off
over
of
me,
me.
honey. But I think that's the point of maturity, and you have to pray for the Lord to keep pointing you in the direction of maturity.
Yeah,
like spiritual maturity. God, fill me with more faith, fill me with more strength. Please remove any obstruction, any distraction from my way. Remove it so that I can learn more about you and be more focused on you. John 21:19, where Peter, they're at the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus tells Peter, "Hey, come with me. I have to tell you something over here at the corner." And Peter says, "All right, I bet." He gets up, follows Jesus, and then I think they say John was following right after Peter, and Peter goes to Jesus, "Hey, yo, Jesus, is John supposed to be coming too? Because you said just me, right?" And then Jesus says to him, per John chapter 20, verse 19, he goes, "Just follow me." And I'm paraphrasing here, but
just
he
follow
says,
me and whoever.
Don't worry about who's behind you. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to follow me.
Yeah.
So just follow me. And I pray on that. Ooh, that's a verse that I has helped me throughout my whole baby walk with God as in my infancy.
Yeah,
was,
I'm gonna adapt that. I'm gonna bring that into mind.
Just all I have to do is follow him. That's it. The rest is already written. It already is. I don't have to do much. I just have to follow God and pray that I already know that in life we fall.
Yeah.
My Bible shows me that already. The point is to always remember who is our creator, who is our God, and just to follow him.
Well, you mentioned hypocrisy. How do you feel about just like the internet, social media, and the way that people are and the way that people are exposing themselves, yet still say like, "Oh my God, I believe in God," or like, what do you feel about like, just what you see online? Because pretty much everybody's always like, "Oh my God, like I love God," but then you see them twerking and like.
Oh, I see what you're
mean?
saying. Yes. And I've been guilty of that too.
Same. I be twerking. Pretty bad because my lower back be hurting, but you know.
Yo, girl. Listen, how do I feel about it? Man, I feel many things and I feel nothing at all, because I know that a lot of the work happens individually, and if you're not doing your homework, it's going to show. It's going to bleed out through you. You can't fake the funk for that long.
Yeah.
Same with these pastors that are like these, performative Christian pastors. What's that pastor that spit on someone on Twitter? Mike Todd. Mike Todd.
Oh, I don't even know.
Just like all these performative Christians that I feel like they're failed musicians that didn't make it. So now they get to talk to people and
be on stage and wear nice alligator shoes.
Listen, let me tell you something. I don't know about that. There's a place for them. Like I know that there are many pastors that have changed people's lives for the better and have strengthened the relationship of Christ in many other people. They have a gift, right? But I do think, like the Bible shows us time and time again, we fall. And unless we are in our devotionals wholeheartedly, whole emphasis on wholeheartedly, that's where you get the twerking and stuff, and then and then these other things. For me, that's just indicative of they're still my brother and sister in Christ. They just may be going through a time where their prayers may be falling off. They're not reading their text, or they're not, or at least they're not being.
A moment of weakness.
Yeah, which we all have them.
Exactly.
Get used to them, kid.
Yeah.
It would be hypocritical to suggest something else. That's not honest either.
Yeah.
And in terms of the social media, oh my God. I mean, smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it's all a lie.
Half these people that say they make X amount of money, go ahead and knock down 100,000. Like, no one's as rich as they say they are. No one's as happy as they say they are. And again, no one's as at peace as they say they are. You just focus on you. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. I say that all the time. And I think that once you realize that we're all a bunch of hypocrites on a rock in space, the easier it is for you to wholeheartedly take on Christ.
Yeah. Like, one thing about it, and I kind of interchange it when I'm talking about meditating, praying, it's like the same thing for me, right? And I have a certain way that I do my prayer just because it's like what I learned in Kingdom Hall. And to answer your question from earlier, Kingdom Hall is just another Christian denomination. They just are like way more strict with certain holidays, they believe that a lot of holidays that we celebrate that are like, like let's say Christmas or whatever, it really does have like a base in paganism. So it's not Christ-like actually at all.
So it's Christmas.
Exactly.
And
That's
New
why
Year's.
they
It's
don't
pagan.
they don't celebrate that. So I mean, I'm not in the religion anymore, but there are like the studies I carry with me. There are certain things that I've walked with or taken with me throughout my life. But I don't know.
Darlene, are you having fun?
I'm having a great fucking time.
Is this good? Are we having
Great
fun?
effing time.
Are you sure? I don't know. I feel like I'm like, let's play a game.
Okay, let's play a game.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow here. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know what any of this is. Okay, I'm going to finish these lyrics.
Okay, perfect. I like
I
those.
don't know where I'm going with this, Clara. Clara, I don't know what I'm doing here.
I love her
okay.
brain.
Oh crap. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Finish these, and if you finish these correctly,
What do I got?
you win a prize. I haven't thought about it. Oh, you win this hat.
Okay.
You win this Dominican flag hat. Thank you, Clara.
Eight.
So, I'm okay. Here I go.
Oh my God, I need to win.
Here I go. Right. Yeah, exactly. There's also makeup on that thing. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, Bree, go through the archives of songs. Got it. Oh, I got the perfect one. Shot to the heart, and you're to blame, darling.
I don't know the lyrics. That's a Massachusetts in you, girl. I don't know.
Jersey!
Okay, Jersey. Okay, Jersey. I mean, I know songs. Do another one.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me do another one. Oh. Okay. Oh my God. Hold on. Do something here, Clara. Okay. Let me think of something. Oh. Okay. Do you like country music? Are you a country girl? Why am I the only Dominican on the planet?
I don't know
on
what country
the
song do
planet.
I like. I like the one that she hits before he cheats, and Shania Twain song.
Oh, I love me some Shania. You
yeah.
like
So,
Shania?
ooh, I feel like a woman.
Okay. Oh, I love Shania. Okay, wait, hold on. I can give you. Let's do. Do you like Miranda Lambert?
Is that the one before he cheats? Who
No,
sings?
that's Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood?
Miranda Lambert is okay. I know they say can't go home again.
No, I don't know that song.
Okay. One time, hi Tangi, as I find this song, I was in the car with Clara and her boyfriend, and we were listening to Radiohead. I'm a huge Radiohead fan, and you know what he asks me, and it always happens. He asked me, "Bree, did you grow up in a predominantly white
Yeah.
neighborhood?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, I didn't.
No?
No. It's very, very racially diverse, very culturally diverse in, Lynn, Massachusetts. You know, Lynn.
You definitely give me like that big high school with the lockers and you guys dissected a frog vibe.
We did dissect a frog randomly, but
I went to school, the public system
Oh, New York.
in New York, in the Bronx. Is like
public schooling in Massachusetts is marginally a little more
Better?
involved. Okay, yes, I didn't say it. It would be better if I said it, okay?
I went to school in the Bronx, so I never got to do no fun. I didn't have a locker.
You didn't have a locker?
We didn't have we had lockers, but we were not allowed to use them.
How do you feel about Euphoria?
I love Euphoria. It's so much though.
Oh, I hate it.
I know I'm worldly, I'm secular, I sin. What can I tell you? You don't like it?
That's not why I don't like it. I
Why
like a
don't you
lot
like
of secular programs that I don't like Euphoria because it's exploitative. But let me start because I sound like an old hoot.
Not be. Say what you gotta say.
Listen, I'm a film girl. I'm a production girl through and through.
Yeah.
Cinematography, excellent. The music, Labyrinth is killing it.
Yes.
Labyrinth is a Christian man. He's a brother in Christ. The direction is great. The actors are so rich in their performances. They really are so gifted. And they're so beautiful.
Young
Every
and
single one
hot.
of them. Cool. I think that show, my emotional impulse is I feel ick.
Really?
Ick. If anything, my spiritual practice has taught me is that if it makes me feel ick, stay away. Remove
Okay.
it. I don't even want to consume it. And it makes me feel ick every time. I'll tell you this. I think it's exploitative. I think that it's disgusting. It's revolting. The fact that we have, like, my willing suspension of belief is completely compromised because I'm seeing what are supposed to be high school kids.
I do forget that they're in high school.
Having sex in these very adult ways. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but You're lying to me if you were in high school having sex like that. It's just, I don't believe it.
No.
Now, there's some people that say the drug stuff, that was their reality.
Not for me.
Not for me either.
Yeah.
That's not my
I mean, a
reality.
little weed, but you know.
Right. But fentanyl, bitch?
Nah.
You talking about some fentanyl crush Adderall?
No.
What 16, 17 years? I'm sorry, but that's
Yeah.
just not what, that wasn't
If
happening.
it was placed in college, it'll be a lot more realistic. But I do like it because I also like the cinematography. And I think there's a darkness to it that I like because it's fake to me. Like, I don't think anyone's life is actually like this. It does suck because it kind of glamorizes the darkness because they look cute, they have their makeup, et cetera, and that's fucked
We're
up.
a grown woman.
But I'm a grown woman. I can
The
see how
people who
damaging
are
this
17,
could be.
18, 19s on TikTok scrolling through these things and like absorbing them, wanting to dress like them. I'm sorry. That gives me the ick. And I guess
feel you on that.
I guess I'm growing old. And this is another thing. Me
Well,
and my
that's
girl.
what I feel about music all around. Like when WAP first came out, I was so anti-WAP, and that's coming from a girl that was calling herself D Nasty. Like,
Really?
I was so anti-WAP at
WAP
first.
by Cardi B, you're saying?
Yeah, because I was just like, what is this? What are we showing children? Why are we talking about how wet our vaginas can get? Like, I see why you don't like Euphoria, because that's how I felt with the song WAP. But then I think about, like, is this anything different from like what was happening when we were kids? There were shows like this. Degrassi was wild. You don't remember Degrassi?
Oh,
and
yes.
Skins?
Yeah, but you know what? It was, I don't know why. Maybe, I mean, I was also around at the time of that reboot of Degrassi, because it's actually like 3 generations.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say...
I'm talking about the one with Aubrey Graham.
Yeah, right, with Drake, for sure. Even that one for me was still a little more true than what's going on now with
Yeah,
Euphoria.
they dress like kids.
And they don't, who dresses like... Anyways, the point is, what I want to make is... This is known. That show was created by a 37-year-old white man from Connecticut. I know that I've been exploited by white men in this entertainment industry. That gives me the ick. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care if... And Zendaya's incredible. I love Zendaya. She's
Yeah.
passionate and she's intelligent. She's a hyphenate talent like we are. We do multiple things.
She's super
She's
talented.
super talented. But that, for me, is not enough for me not to call out hypocrisy and icks. It's revolting to me. Why couldn't they have made those characters 3 years older?
How old are they supposed to be?
Between the ages of 16 and 18? Why couldn't you just make them in college or 18 to 23?
I do think that it is a lot. I think that's a high school experience for a lot of kids. Maybe not as fashionable, but from what I hear, especially like in the middle of nowhere in suburbia, people do experiments. Like, you would think here in the big city in New York, like, people are getting into everything. And I did get into shit, but I wasn't sniffing coke and doing fentanyl and doing crazy shit when I wasn't doing that in high school. So I don't know. I think it is exaggerated in
Not
a
to
sense,
mention-
but I think that there are some people that have had similar experiences in high school.
Right. And that's why I say I can't talk on that, because just because it wasn't my experience doesn't mean that it isn't the experience of other people. And it also, my friend Luisa, by the way, Luisa made this hair, freaky beautiful. She's incredible. Clara, awesome. Love
Plug
her.
me. I need a wig girl.
That's my, girl. This is the real deal. She talk about hyphenate. She's a dancer, stylist, designer, hair designer. Dude,
I need it. I have a bad haircut. This is an extension ponytail. Like, I cut
No,
my
you
own
look good,
hair.
baby.
This is fine because I manipulated it, but I cut my hair.
Oh, I have a
recently.
question for. Oh, you did?
Myself.
Can you send me a photo so we
First
can
of
put
all,
it?
I
Put the
don't
photo
even know
here,
why I
Clara.
didn't put this on Instagram. I dyed my own hair earlier this week. And it was like a carrot top. I look like those old Hindu men.
No.
So then my nails look disgusting because then I went up with a semi-permanent and then I dyed it dark again. But it's still like, if you look closely, like underneath.
What were you trying to do?
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like very, very spontaneous and I'll just randomly do anything.
You know what,
And with
maybe-
my hair, I am very experimental. Like, I always cut my hair, bangs.
Do you feel throes of mania?
Absolutely.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, my mental illness be acting up.
Honey, I think we cut from the same
I'll be on the SSRI sheet. You know, everything is possible with love and with God.
Yes,
and
exactly.
SSRIs.
Exactly. Wait, I have a question. Oh, put that on a shirt. SSRIs.
I have it as a tweet.
Everything is possible with God and SSRIs.
Yes.
Wait, we're talking about multi-hyphenate talent like Zendaya, as you are. You're a presenter, host, actor, comedian. You do sketches, you do stand-up.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you started stand-up 3 years ago?
I started it 2017, but because of the pandemic, it put a big halt in it. So consecutively 4 years, 2017, 18, 19, and then maybe 5 years.
Okay. Now, I too, I think I'm a hyphenate as well, multi-hyphenate. I never, someone asked me the other day, like, well, which one do you do the most, I guess, which one, whatever. And I
Just say
literally
you're an
couldn't-
entertainer.
Yeah. Something a little more general because I love it all. But I think writing is where I think I love the most.
Yeah.
Writing is, I'm very precious about it. That's why no one's really seen it. It's hard for me to even open it up to scrutiny because it's my little baby. But God always tells us the gifts aren't for us. They're meant to be shared.
Yeah.
It's our moral obligation to share it. So who knows? Maybe
You got a
one
little
day.
extra, like fairy dust, like God dust.
Oh yeah,
in
well I
ya.
think we all do.
Yeah, we all do, but you know.
But what's your favorite of the hyphenates? Which one is the one that you take intentional, deliberate time and effort honing the craft of? Which one? You can't. There's got to be someone.
So hard to say because I get bored easy, so I like to have multiple things happening so I could like jump in from one thing or the next. Right now, I have to say it's acting. I really got the acting bug. I did a little episode on Blue Bloods. I did the Gentefied thing. I did De Lo Mío on HBO. So since then, I liked kind of the freedom of not having to be D Nasty or Darlene, like being someone else and not worrying about like tripping over my words or offending someone or whatever. I do like that. But the one that I really put a lot of work in, I think, because stand-up is just memorizing and dealing with energy, but like when my
Do you
hosting
memorize?
gigs, yeah, I memorize it.
For your okay.
You know, it's a set. As a stand-up comedian, you have a set and it never changes. I mean, it changes depending on how the crowd is going, and then you do your crowd work, you talk to people there, but you have your core jokes, your type 5, your type 15, whatever, 30.
You said you were going to be on tour too, no? Or you're going
Not tour, but I have a show coming up.
let them know. Let them know where you have.
When does this air?
Next week.
Next week. So I actually have a show in DC January 27th. 2 shows. It's going to be at the DC Improv.
So
at
this week
7:30.
when they're watching it.
Yeah, so January 27th this week I'm going to be in DC. And I just had a show last week
How'd
and
it
a week
go?
one before that.
Was it your first time back on
No.
stage?
I've been on stage since the summer.
So what's your process to writing? I hope we're not boring you. I'm just really interested.
No.
Okay.
My process for writing is basically like any inspiration that I get. If I'm walking on the street, if I'm on the train, I put it on my notes. And you know, since I do have a little bit of a following on social media, I'll put it
do.
on my Instagram first. So like if I have
You
like an idea
do.
for a joke, I'll just see how it would, you know, how people would react to it online. And if it's good, a lot of the time I'll put it into my set.
Really?
And I build from that like little
even
rants.
the good ones. The good. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Really?
there's some that I don't put up. Like my whole set, I have a very strong. I think enough material for 20 minutes, but I have a very strong 15. And there are things that I say in my 15 that I wouldn't put on social media because I want people to go see it.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but there are things though that like it'll be like a sentence from a video that I did on Instagram, and that sentence I could build it into like a 3-minute bit.
When you're creating, do you think about how an audience perceives it, or is it solely like this cathartic, like experience for you, an expression for you? You don't
At
really
first
care
it's
about
like
the audience.
vomiting. Like it's just like whatever is in your head, put it down, whatever. And I'm not thinking about the audience. I'm thinking about myself 100%. I want to get my feelings out. I want to get my jokes out. And a lot of the time they're not funny. You have to really like,
that's
it's like clay, you know, you have to mold it or whatever. So it's not for the people at first, but then you have to remember, like, if only you find it funny, then you're not a good comic. So then that's when I start chipping away. And I have jokes where I know would work for certain audiences and where it won't work for certain audiences. And I'll pick and choose it there. But I don't know. I have people in mind, but my first draft is never with people in mind. My first draft is just to get the thoughts out on paper, and that way they're tangible, they're physical, it's there, and then I can work on it, and I can keep people in mind, keep myself in mind, and then really hone it in.
I don't know how you guys do it, stand-ups.
It's hard.
Stand-up is hard. I know. I'm friends with a lot of stand-ups, and I really do respect it.
It's only hard the first
That's not
15
true.
seconds.
That's not true.
Because the first 15 seconds is the make or break. Once you get your first laugh and it's okay, they laughed where you wanted them to laugh, you're like, oh, I got this.
I don't know if I have the.
I got this.
Also, there's another thing that turns me away from it. I've never thought about doing it. And that's not my bag. I have a
Yeah.
lot of other bags. That's not it.
Yeah.
But is the whole the nature of it is at night. You know, it's
Yeah.
typically at clubs. You have to, and here's the thing about stand up is you can't fake the funk. You have to go on stage
A lot.
practicing it, you have to do it. You have to bomb. Have you ever bombed? Oh, what was your first bomb
But
like?
my first bomb was my first show after the pandemic.
What happened?
Oh, it was so bad. So I tried to do like completely new material. None of the material that I knew would work. And I kind of went into this whole tangent and it was just not the right audience. I was in Brooklyn and Williamsburg. There was a whole bunch of white women that you could tell had fur babies. And I was like, yo, we 30. Like, it's time to give up the fur babies. Let's have some real fucking babies.
Oh, they hated it.
Everybody was like,
They hated it.
everybody hated it. So people were not into the dog jokes. And I also had like I guess it was kind of bad to say because I was saying how like, you know, it's selfish to have a dog. Like, look at what we've done to dogs. What once was a majestic wolf, a beast is now just like a little plaything.
Domesticated,
Yeah. And I don't say it as nicely as that. I say some words that may or may not offend people about the dog.
And in New York, you know all those rich ladies got they dogs.
You know.
Dude, we took Wheezy's dog yesterday to get groomed. That shit was $120. I'd have been like, what? Well, dog, you're gonna be raggedy all year.
Dude,
because
I got
can't
a friend
afford
who
this.
pays for a daycare, who has like insurance for the dog. I'm like,
I'm too broke for this. I'm gonna go. My cat. Our cats are twins.
I know.
Our
I was gonna
cats
say, my cat be doing her own thing.
of our kitties. They look like they had to have been apart in the same litter.
They cousins.
I think so.
They have like 3 colors. My cat's name is Sadie. Well, it's my boyfriend's cat, so I'm like the stepmother, but
Nah, that's your cat.
that's my
too.
cat. She loves me.
He's about to marry you. That's your cat.
Yeah, it's been 9 years.
Yeah, he got to pop the question. I'm
Right?
sorry.
It's taking a really long time.
I can't like when I have a boyfriend.
But you know what though? I was never pressing it because I am a little bit afraid of marriage.
Why are you afraid of marriage? What makes you afraid of marriage?
I am afraid
Commitment?
of.
But you're already committed.
I am committed, but I am afraid of the paper and like the real thing.
You live together.
I know. We moved in together in October, so it's been November, December, barely 3 months.
But what do you, okay, so you haven't, could we dissect it a little bit
Absolutely.
here? Is it, so it's definitely a Darlene thing, not a
Yeah.
him thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Does any part of you miss the Darlene that lived on her own? Like,
I miss my apartment and the proximity to the city because I was living in Washington Heights and it was a lot closer to things. Now I'm in West Bubble.
oh,
Do you
okay.
curse on this podcast?
Yeah, we're good, baby. We're
Sorry.
good.
And
Look at me. I mean, look at me. Look at me.
I don't know. Maybe it is God
You
or
got
whatever.
it. You got
No, but I live really far now. Like I took the Metro North into the city today.
Okay, I understand what you're
So,
saying.
but my apartment now is much
But-
nicer, and I do enjoy living with the person that I love. Like I like to wake up next to him. I like to go to sleep with him.
oh, I
It's
want that.
really
so
good for my
bad.
insomnia.
I want it so bad. I want to cuddle.
You wanna
I want to have a
cuddle?
partner. I want to have. It's like I have some exciting things like planned or like that could potentially come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the point when you don't have anyone to share it with?
There's a lot of points. You're you. You're living in your own like journey right now. What do you need to share it always with someone else? And you have your
Girl.
supporters. You're a beautiful woman. You'll find someone. Yeah.
I'm not nervous about not finding someone. I'm nervous about. I haven't been with someone. I haven't even dated someone long term, really, since being a Christian. I'm nervous about like that. There's so much newness with that. I don't only have to go into a relationship, which is already new.
Are you on any of the apps, Christian Mingle or?
No. Although I'm trying to get a sponsor, a Christian app to sponsor the show. But no, I'm more nervous about, like I said, remember that influence thing? I know my proclivities to be influenced by the person that I love and stuff.
Ah.
So like, is finding someone, a Christian man who edifies me and not only is a God-fearing and practicing, but makes me better. Like
do you
I've-
go to a church?
No.
Why not?
There's one church that I go to maybe once a month. I just haven't found a church that I find a home, a
You haven't
kinship
found
in.
your church yet,
No, and I will say I think I'm not alone in that. I think a lot of people in the city kind of they bop around different churches. What
Mm-hmm.
I was doing, especially during the pandemic, but I haven't found a church home. I also don't know if I'm going to be in New York for the long term, and I love New York. I
Where do you
love
want to
it.
go?
The South. I really do like the South a lot. first of all, you get more bang for your buck in terms
It's
of
the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt.
exactly. Shout out
No
to
state taxes.
yes, yes. Shan Boudram says like
Yeah.
the where you live is the market for you. Like if you're thinking about intentionally, deliberately dating for
Yeah.
partnership, this market isn't really
New
made
York.
for me.
The stories that I hear from like my single girlfriends, like the pickings are slim in this city. Like I'm so happy that I found somebody that I love, that is a good friend to me as well, on top of just a partner, because los hombres no sirven aquí.
No, it's true. And the ones that are great are already taken.
They're already taken.
But not only
or
that-
they're gay, or they're Jewish, so they can't marry you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're right. And like, I don't know what to do because there's already a limited availability of men, but also they need to be Christian. They need to, actually, that's about it.
Yeah.
I've like eliminated all the other ones because the older you get, you're like, I can't be that picky.
I saw a clip of you saying you found like a Christian bae on TikTok that you were like, oh my God, he's so hot. Like,
what was that, girl? Who was that?
This was weeks ago, but you were like, I love him. I love everything about him.
Oh, there was someone on it. There was in an episode that there was a guy, but no, I really like Muslim men. And there's a Muslim TikToker that I'm obsessed
Oh, yes, that's what you were telling me. He was
with.
Muslim.
Oh, he is so fine. Lord, please convict me to change. Because lustful thoughts are a problem for me for sure. Especially coming off the Lexapro, honey. Let me tell you something. My libido went, hello!
Stop!
Stop! In the name of lust. Joy for you penetrate.
Yeah, my shit, that
You're not
Lexi-
penetrating. Oh my God, why did I say that? We're not penetrating.
Not penetrating, not gyrating, not
No one's
vibrating.
penetrating anything. Clara, what am I doing here? But that's the thing. Oh, well, back to marriage. Whoever I am with has to know that like I'm celibate, so they
Yeah.
have to be okay with that too. Which it's really dope because
Are you like completely celibate, or you like work around it?
work around what?
For those just listening to the pod, I'm doing gestures around the mic.
No, she was doing gestures. She's hers.
I was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My good Christian
no,
people.
I used to actually. My first year of being a Christian, I was finding loopholes.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like every kind of oncoming or not coming. I'm getting nervous. Like at first I would go on dates and just like want to make out, but that wasn't helping because I love to kiss. And when I'm not a virgin, so
Yeah.
like, then what are we doing? What are we doing here? If
Yeah.
I do that, then I'm gonna wanna.
The heavy petting always goes.
Also, let's also not. I don't want to. I don't know how much time we have left, Clara, but thank you. That this is worth noting. People's ideas of sex do not start and end at penetration.
No.
And I think that's really heteronormative. I hate to be PC sounding woke, but that's true.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think that sex is the penetration. It's like, no. That's the problem. That's why so many men aren't pleasing women. Like,
Yeah.
sex begins with the kissing. So when I was making these fictitious, stupid boundaries for myself, they were really stupid because I was still partaking in sexual acts. For me, sex is not just penetration.
Yeah.
Sex is all the other stuff.
It's a whole sensual moment.
Heck yeah, and I love making out.
Yeah.
I'm really into like intense,
Really?
very much.
Like getting my type shit.
Oh my God.
I've been in
Waterworks. I'm talking about shamu.
I gotta be like really, really, really shamood for me to be into that. Cause I've done it a couple times. I ain't gonna front. Pero ahora como que mira ese bajo a boca. Mira coño. Ve cepíllate coño. Di que-
Oh, I love it.
But like in the throes of the passion, sometimes
love
everything
it.
is like whatever.
I love it, and I'm very intimate. Like I'm very like that's. I think I am that way when I'm with a partner. So I don't even know. You know what I used to do? One thing, but what? Oh, sorry, listeners. Oh my God, we may have to put this on the Patreon only. Who knows? I used to. There was this one guy who I adored. He was a 2-time divorcee.
Oh.
Third
wife.
He was a Christian. He didn't want to get married again, but he was so sexy and fun and smart. I'm a sucker for intelligence.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but if
But
I'm,
you're super intelligent yourself, so
I think I'm. There's
it's
some
obvious.
things.
It's very clear.
There's some things that and it's also obvious that I'm not. You know, for some things. You know, but he was so smart and introduced me to so many things. I have files, Brianna files on my phone that I take on people. It's very sociopathic. So did he. So it's great when you meet someone who kind of shares the same neuroses as you. I know.
Oh my God.
But he was
Do you have
so.
a file on me yet? Or you have to like get to know each other better?
Maybe I do. I may go back and put a file in for something that you said before we even started recording. Actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's very, very not. I think my therapist definitely has some words about it.
Okay. Do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
Oh, okay. I think you would like that show.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of given like a Dennis. When they went to a therapist and he was like writing notes on her. But anyway,
that's what I do. Oh, I date them. I date them. Anywho, with him.
He had files too.
He had files too. It was great. It was like, oh my God, when someone knows you're crazy, or not that they know you are crazy, your neuroses, and it doesn't turn them off. If anything, they find kinship in it. That's really sexy.
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere with him. Actually, when I date and I know I'm not going to be going any further with someone, or I know someone's not going to be my husband, what I used to do, I don't do anymore. But my first year of dating as a newly Christian woman is I would make out with them like crazy and like just like devour them in every other way but penetrative, which I now know is dumb, you know. That man was so hot, and he was very good with my boundaries too. Like my boundary was none of the genitals. Like that was the boundary, and he was really down with that. I think that's really dope about dating older guys is like they've seen it all, they've done it all. It's like not really. They don't even really care. They like being around beautiful women and like touching them and being with them.
It's a gift, exactly.
So I was like I knew I had to get out, because if I was in his presence for another 10 minutes, it would have been a different story.
That's it, panties
off. So
off.
I left. And I go to my apartment and I am still hot because I'm like replaying. I can still smell him. He had a beard and I could feel the like abrasion from his beard on my lips.
Oh my God, because you were making out for so long. Yes. There's like a little rug burn right here.
And it was hot though. And I remember, I will say the Lord knows us. He knows our hearts, and he's preparing something. He knows. Yeah. We don't know the results yet. That's intentional, but he does.
Isn't that so freeing?
Absolutely.
As soon as I kind of like really got that, because I think I was such a control freak at one point, that I just started praying more and meditating more, that I'm like, you know what, whatever's going to happen is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to drive myself crazy with anxiety, thinking of all these different scenarios. I'm just going to let go and let God. That's cliche as it sounds.
Yes. Let God take that. He wants that for us.
Yeah.
He literally says, hey man, hey you.
I got that.
I'll take that for you.
Yeah.
It's like you're carrying a big backpack of stuff.
I love it.
And he just takes one back. Let me help you out with that. I got you. Let me take it. Like, you know, it's so freeing and liberating to know that there's this sovereign power that loves
that's
you.
got your back.
And loves you unconditionally. Hand it over to me. Give it to me. Give it all.
You had said that you had your come to God moment on the first time you did acid.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
Oh, wow.
Because I had a similar situation, so I want to tell you something.
Oh, please. Yes. I won't sound, I definitely want to get to yours because my listeners definitely have heard it before. But for your audience who's here and they don't know about me, I was experiencing some severe, like existential dread, a little bit of ruminating on my own expiration. I'm trying to find new ways of not saying it. Trigger warning, suicide.
Tendencies.
Exactly. But it was really, really, and listen, I had already started meditating. I had already started reading the book because I was an atheist that had, I was interested in theology regardless. Clara is an atheist who's interested in theology. There are a lot of us that are out there, And my close friend at the time knew this about me. She had known about some things, and she said that she had some acid. And I do not recommend you present psychedelic drugs to people that are, experiencing those lows.
Yeah,
it can be really harmful.
What could happen? Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not my testimony. My testimony is I went in.
Fortunately,
right.
Yeah.
So it was scary. It was scary. We took a mega dose of acid.
Wow.
And it was, at first it was beautiful, and I'd always seen colors and experience. Like when I hear sounds, I taste stuff.
Oh,
so
you have, what is that called?
I don't know. They say synesthesia.
Yeah.
I just found this out at a Lorde concert in 2018 where I was with someone, and I was like, oh my God, these colors are just like what I'm seeing. It's like, and then my girl Laura was like, what the fuck are you talking about? There are no colors happening. It was, I forgot that. I didn't know. I thought we all did it.
Not everybody can see them.
Or that numbers are colors, like 4 is green.
That's the thing. It's called like synesthesia or synesthesia. One of the two.
Clara, remember when you had the teal sweatshirt on? Put a clip of this here. La Clara NYC, my baby girl in the color mint.
Yes.
I love your mint sweater, Clara.
I think that's my favorite color.
Clara, that color makes me happy. You know, there are some colors that just make you taste good stuff, or make you feel good stuff.
Yep.
So when I see the color teal, it makes me taste like cotton candy, not sweet, but more like
Minty?
No, not mint. It's like an old woman candy, but like it's a weird. Let me pause on the flavor. But on that episode, because I was
Like,
editing
is it chalky?
I was saying no, cotton candy. So like it's like it makes me salivate and makes me taste this not too sweet sensation of honey or something. Honey, miel. But on that episode when I said it makes me feel, I said something that no one else can catch, but I know, because if I said taste, I have to adapt.
I get it. You have to.
If I hear the
You have to translate for yourself.
right,
Got
but
it.
also if I hear crunching old snow, I taste earwax.
Oh, so are you very into ASMR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. 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 I just
yeah.
started. It gets me to go to sleep.
Yeah.
My favorite triggers are indistinguishable, like sounds, like things that you can't really hear.
I like to see the things. I like to see the cutting of the soap.
Oh yeah.
I like to pop like things that are being popped.
I love it. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
very much into that. Where was I going with this? Oh, hi, Tangi. I don't remember where we were going.
You were saying.
Oh, the acid.
Yes.
I remember during the trip, all of those things that I already felt as a kid, which I thought we all did. I thought we all tasted
Colors.
stuff, but they were amplified. And I remember just crying out of nothing. And automatically I saw pastels, and there were these flavors popping in my mouth like Pop Rocks. And I felt like I was in
Wow.
God's museum. It was like something was guiding me through some of my most intimate memories. It was really strange, but I later found out that it was like death was approaching. So, and I knew this, and I was hallucinating, obviously, but I was aware of this.
What do you mean death was? Were you overdosing? Like, what,
No,
what do
no,
you mean
mama,
death
mama,
was
no, no, no,
approaching?
no. So with psychedelic drugs, the hallucinations that you
Oh, it's like
have-
releasing the DMT.
Yeah, I mean, it
okay.
wasn't DMT; it was acid, whatever the psychedelic component of acid is put here. But no, when you're hallucinating, it's like Russian roulette for everyone.
Yeah.
Whatever your experience is going to be, you never really know. I don't say bad trip; I say challenging trip.
Okay.
Because people typically say bad trip, meaning they feel like they're going to die. It's because you're hallucinating and it feels like you're about to die. But I've done so many psychedelics in the past, and I've researched psychedelic medicine, especially native use for psychedelics and stuff. And in terms of their religion, a lot of people use psychedelic medicines
Yeah, like
as a form of
ayahuasca
their
and frogs.
religion. Right. So I think that's intentional, because when humans are faced with their own mortality, a lot can change. Or that's why when a lot of people, close relatives dies, their whole life scope changes a bit. They start realizing that their own mortality. Being aware of your own mortality will do a number on you spiritually. Even you could take the most atheistic naturalist, like Stephen Hawking of a person.
Yeah.
We don't know what 10 seconds before his death he was feeling or thinking. We'll never know, you know? No. So when I was on that acid trip, I'm telling you, it was as clear. There's no way I could say this other than Jesus Christ was in front of me and said, "What is this I hear about you not wanting to be here?" And automatically I felt
Why
exposed.
that makes me want to cry?
Oh,
Like, look
every
at my
time
eyes.
I've told it so many times, but I felt and actually a lot about that experience I doubted, and I experienced doubt, and I experienced fear, but the one thing that I never doubted was that presence was Jesus Christ.
That was real.
That was Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And he said to
Mira, se me
me,
paran los pelitos, señores.
listen, and that's what a connection does. You know, that's why when you're a superpower. Your superpower is laughter. You make people in a room laugh. That's a connection. That's when you're escalofrios, you're chilled. Whatever you're experiencing is God. It's the ultimate connector. Or according to Carl Jung, it's our collective consciousness that should bring chills down your spine.
I definitely believe in the collective consciousness.
So I felt the Lord tell me, "Hey man, that body, this is your gift." And I remember that he ended it. One of the last things, because I remember I wrote it down while I was tripping, it was use your voice. I thought he meant, because I'm a retired vocalist, and I'm not doing anything with music ever. I'm never going to do that.
Okay.
So no one ask. But I remember him saying use your voice, and I was like, huh? And I remember after the trip, as I was coming down, I was like, he said I gotta go sing? I'm not gonna do that.
Lift every voice.
I ended up outlining Super Trip Talk, my podcast, so I could use my voice to amplify his
And look
voice.
at where you are now.
And that was before Bible stories.
Wow.
Talk about the all-knowing power.
Wow. That's beautiful.
So,
I can only imagine seeing God like Jesus.
But it was more of a like, you know how when you're in worship and you automatically go like this? It was more like that. I didn't feel like I could look up.
You could just feel the presence.
Yes, I didn't want to. No. When you worship something and
you would have came out with a little gray hair and shit.
Oh my God,
like
honey.
Moses.
Listen, yes. When Moses said, I'm not an eloquent speaker, I was at the burning bush. I felt that way in front of the Lord. I felt, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy of this. So I just remember crying and crying and crying.
Really?
And wait, at the peak, I felt sensations comparable to an orgasm. Now I say that, and it was nothing sexual about it. I'm trying to talk to people who've never done a psychedelic before. Mm-hmm. It was a feeling of euphoria.
You just feel a lot more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I remember my girl who was with me at the time, she remembers seeing it because she actually tripped. Her peak was later. She is a stoner, and my tolerance was different.
Yeah.
So my peak happened like 20 minutes before hers. Throughout, she just remembered so much. She had to take another tab.
To get on your level.
Una loca. She knows exactly. She probably watches this stuff. Hey girl, how's your boyfriend? I don't know. She said that she remembers me being like, and I think that was when I was experiencing the climax of like this like euphoric feeling. It was palpable. I felt that.
Wow.
You could feel it.
Wow.
It was something when you're in the presence of something so magnificent, your body reacts in a way that, especially because in my brain hallucinating, my reality was I was about to die.
Yeah.
So, anywho, that's how that was my call, is what they call, that's the, your first encounter with God is what they call it.
That's beautiful.
What was your first encounter with God like?
I don't know. I think that when I was younger, my relationship with God and Jesus was so tight. Like, I don't know if that was just the magic of being a child, but I felt like I could almost hear his voice in my head. You know what I mean? And I was always praying. And like I said earlier, I pray in a specific way because I pray the way like I was taught in Kingdom Hall. But like, when I did shrooms for the first time, and I wouldn't say this is my first call to God. I just can't remember.
You were raised in a church, though.
Exactly.
I was
so
not.
I just was around, you know. But as an adult, like maybe 2 years ago, I went to Joshua Tree. I was in the desert and I did some shrooms, and there was just a lot going on in the world. Like, it was like a weird full moon, and it was beautiful because when you're out in the desert, you see like just the moonlight glazing over the mountains, and it's just gorgeous. And I was on my period and I took, so I was on my period, and then I took a whole bunch of mushrooms. Like, I was just eating them out the bag.
Macro dose. Okay.
Macro 100%. Like, nobody else wanted to do it with me. So like, but there was one other girl. She was like a friend of a friend. Okay. So I went to the hot tub. I put on a tampon. I don't care if I have my period. I put on a tampon. I get in the hot tub. And at this point, I'm like in the hot tub. I'm lowering myself where I'm like kind of floating. It was a big tub. I'm looking at the stars. I see the stars. I see the moon over the mountains, and I feel so feminine just because of whatever's happening in my body. And then looking over at the mountains, they kind of looked like breasts. I don't know. It was very like a feminine energy, but beautiful. And I remember when I looked up into the sky and I was just looking at the stars, it felt like each and every star that I saw was someone or something that was cheering for me and telling me everything good. Like, it was telling, like, every little star, and it was happening all at once and not at the same time. And they were just like, you're good enough. Like, why are you so hard on yourself? And telling me these things where the tears were just kind of falling down my face. And I remember because I was like half in the tub, so like my ears were under the tub, and I could hear like the jets of the thing. And I felt like I was in this kind of like primordial soup of the earth type shit. Yeah. But it just was a moment where like I don't know if I even want to say ancestors, I don't know, but I felt like it was my family in the sky telling me that they love me and that they want me to do better, and that everything that I'm doing is right, and that I need to be have faith in what I'm doing. And I don't know, it was just, it brought me to tears. It was like, it wasn't even like just a regular like little tear that fell. I started hyperventilating and bawling. And the girl that did the shrooms with me, she was like, are you okay? Yeah. Like, so it was
so
a beautiful moment.
Oh, I love it. This is so much fun.
This was great.
I don't even know what to do. Oh, wait. I want to end it on a song though.
Okay.
Can we end it on a song?
Okay.
Okay, because I can't. My neurosis is not going to let that slide because
Okay.
we said we were going to do another song and we never did it.
Let's do
I'm
it.
going to wake up later on tomorrow morning being like,
In a
we never
cold
did the song.
sweat.
We said we are going to do the song and we never did the song. Clara, we got to cut her to come back.
Tell her to come back. Let her wear everything that she's supposed to wear.
Except my wig's going to be half on. Finish the lyric.
Okay.
And in this episode of Brianda's Bible Stories Finish the Lyric, we have Miss D Nasty. Aplauso! Okay. You love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you
love it when I move. You love it when it's said and done.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go into the. I got it. I'm gonna do one that you have to know. This is gonna be a '90s classic.
Okay.
Okay. I got one. Okay. If you don't know this one, I'm sorry. You don't deserve the hat.
All right, I don't get the hat.
You don't get the hat.
I don't get the hat.
All right. Okay, ya vamos por tres, honey.
All right, but we did the one, and I think I got it right
The people
earlier.
listening are like, what the heck?
I got Celine Dion earlier.
Well, girl, we're not.
Everybody
putting
gets
that in the
Celine
episode.
Dion.
We're not putting that one in the episode, honey. Okay. Okay, hold on. Got it. This one is a classic, and I know
Okay.
you're gonna know it.
Okay.
Okay. He was no more than a baby then. Well, he seemed broken-hearted, something within him. But the moment that I first laid eyes on him, all alone
Oh.
on the
On the riverbed. No, wait. I know this song.
just beyond the
The
riverbed.
riverbed.
Oh, I should have done that one. That's a good one.
No, but what song is that? That's not Blondie.
Stevie Nicks.
It's Steve. Okay, yeah. It's like the white wing doves, there's the songs inside the city. Who, baby, who, baby, who.
Oh, I love that song. Yay.
Okay, yeah,
oh, I
you got
love
one.
you. That was
We're
good.
going.
You get the hat.
Give me
You
the
get
hat.
Where,
Dominicano soy.
Dominicano soy.
Con mi chalequito, ring, ting, 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 ting.
De mi raza no me voy a olvidarme. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you for coming.
course.
Thank you guys for, everyone who knows me knows that I never know how to end these episodes. This was so much fun.
Yeah, so
I'm going to have such a great time. We're going to have such a good time cutting this episode. Thank you so much, guys. Come back next week. We're going to have all your stuff linked. Could you let the listeners know where they can find you, your ats?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram, dee.nasty, or Twitter, dee.so-nasty. And I'll be around. D on the street. Look at Vice. Vice's YouTube, D on the street. It's my best thing.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming. God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Thank you. God bless you.
See you guys next